Welcome back, everyone, to Rival Takes. I am your host, Josh. Join with me as usual, James Baldwin. And today we are going to be doing another mock draft. We did one pre-free agency. Now that we're mostly through free agency and whatnot, getting ready for draft here. Obviously, we're going to give you a different new mock draft because a lot has changed, a lot of newcomers in a lot of places, and we're just gonna kind of give you kind of like some names to look out for and like where are some good fits. But before we start, obviously, follow us on all social media at Rival Takes. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, at all of it. So just look out for us. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start and then James is gonna go next. And we're just gonna keep alternating just all the way through. So I'm gonna go first for the Raiders here, and there's kind of an obvious pick here, right? I mean, like you hear it everywhere. The most important position of football is the quarterback, and the Raiders need one. So Fernando Mendoza is the pick here at number one. It just kind of makes sense. Like, I just don't see much other buzz about anything else here.
Yeah. I mean, our mock draft is going to be very different from our last one, but that's staying the same for everyone. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Up next here, the Jets. Defense is their obvious issue.
Hmm.
Um, they do probably need a corner more than anything, but there's not a great one on the board. So let's go with Arvel Reese here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Real
Good
Swiss Army
defense for
knife,
sure. Yeah.
super fast. They can play him a linebacker if they want. They can play him
Yeah.
at edge. So really interesting to
Versatile.
see what. Yeah, for sure, very versatile. Interested to see what they do here. Now, number three at the Cardinals here. Defense wouldn't be bad, obviously, but I
Yeah.
do think they kind of need to almost get the best offensive line available, right? I mean, I just feel like that's kind of where they should go.
Yeah.
I see some like someone I saw Jeremiah Love going here. I don't love that because they just kind of signed another James Conner essentially, right? With Tyler Algier. So I just don't see him
Yeah.
going Jeremiah Love. I think they take the best tackle available here in the draft and the best offensive lineman in my opinion in the draft. So I have them taking Francis Mauigoa from Miami, Florida.
Next up, the Titans here. They got their new logo.
Yeah, interesting.
So, yeah, kind of weird to me, but whatever. Titans. Okay, so their defense was also bad. It's like the Jets.
Yeah.
Um, they could really use a lot here. So very open to who they could draft. Um, whoops. I'll have to go probably with David Bailey here.
Okay.
Yeah, because yeah, helps out the defense. Um, their offense, yeah, they need help too. Not as much so, in my opinion. Definitely not
Mhm.
Jeremiah Love because they just don't need to address their running back issue right now.
Yeah, I do see. I've seen a couple where it's like Jeremiah Love goes there. I'm kind
Yeah,
of with you. I'm like, they have other issues there that are more important to address than
yeah,
kind of getting a running
for
back. Not
sure.
that Jeremiah Love isn't great. He absolutely is the best running back in this class, but he's not going to solve their issues, right? So I'm with you there. So we got the Giants at pick five. The one thing that they do not need is an edge rusher. That's like the one thing that they really don't need.
That is,
So
yeah,
you look here, Jeremiah Love, probably not. It's not what they need. Colonel Tate's interesting here. Get another guy opposite Malik Neighbors, because they did lose Wandale Robinson. Offensive line, maybe. Corner wouldn't be awful, but I'm going to go Sonny Styles here. I just think that get a linebacker to kind of center that defense, like Micah McFadden's okay in that defense. Bubba Okereke was there, but you kind of need just like really like he's so insanely athletic. Get a quarterback for that defense you can build on, and then build from there. So I just think getting Sonny Styles here is really the best play for the Giants.
yeah. So here we have the Browns. Weird team because they kind of had they had a great defense, but their offense was kind of meh. Um, Yeah, this is kind of yeah, it's weird. I'd go offense here. I don't think they do need a running back that much though, because Quinshon Judkins, he wasn't terrible. Um, no, I might go with Spencer Fano here.
Okay,
Fano,
interesting. What is
yeah.
your thought process on that
Well, I mean, they have Harold Fannin, so there's a weapon there.
one?
Their defense, obviously, it's good. They don't need that. The receivers, I mean, they're not like great, but I mean, they're good enough. And the O-line's like one of the most important things. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I
you can
mean,
always draft the second round receiver too, right? So
yeah, because receivers, I feel like they could be good in a lot of rounds. Most offensive linemen, they're good in like the first round. There's not like too many great linemen that are like at the top of their game that were drafted in the later rounds. So,
yeah. All right, so we have Washington here at 7. Now they're gonna get Jaden Daniels back probably this year, like later in the year, or actually, I'm not sure exactly his timeline. But the receiving core is not terrible. You still have Terry McLaurin. Um, Tight end they could use one, but I just feel like you shouldn't draft one here at 7. I would be reaching on Kenyon Sadiq, wherever he is. There he is. It'd be a little bit of a reach, right? Um, Offensive line, they just re-signed Larry Tunsil. Forget, so I feel like it has to be defense here. And I like Ruben Bain in this spot. I really do. I think that Ruben Bain is kind of gonna you really throw him in there, he's gonna be a difference maker immediately, and that addresses a bigger issue than getting like, kind of a third receiver, second receiver guy.
yeah. So, here we have the Saints. I think Carnell Tate suggested, I don't think they need offense, not as much as defense.
Yeah, Chris Olave is really underrated.
Yeah, Tyler Shuck, he's been good. Kamara, he is definitely at
Is
the end of his career, but he might pull out a good year left. Who knows? But I think they go with I can't scroll,
oh,
but
what are you thinking?
yeah, let's see. I'd say probably Caleb Downs. There's not like a great backer or edge rusher, so and I would go with defense if I was the Saints. So
Mhm.
yeah, Caleb Downs, pretty
Yeah,
good. He was like projected to be number 1 earlier in the season, so
for sure.
go wrong there.
Yeah, definitely can't go wrong with getting that. Like they've had a couple great, like really good safeties lately, so definitely got to try to
Yeah,
try to get that back. So we have the Chiefs here at 9. So last time we actually did this, we gave them Jeremiah Love, but since they have signed Kenneth Walker, so there's not really a reason that we should give him Jeremiah Love here. But they did trade away their best corner, John McDuffie, and they also lost Watson, their their outside corner. And you got to replace that. I mean, you need corners, obviously, you need very good corners. And I think Mansour Delaney is the best corner in this draft. Um, I just think that that's the best move for them. I just you kind of have to. Yeah, you have to have good corners.
yeah,
You just have to. So that's where I think they should go.
yeah. Bengals here, I think there's kind of an easy choice. You're getting offensive line. I
Yeah.
mean, their defense was also not good at all, but there's not like a good defensive player available, not like too good. And, Burrow will just get injured every year if they don't improve on offensive line.
Mhm.
So Monroe, Freeling, I think that's like a obvious choice
Yeah.
for Cincinnati.
The one other thing you maybe consider is like somewhere on defense, I guess, right? But
Yeah.
I feel like with that, you have to protect your franchise quarterback. It has to be the number one priority, really, as an organization. So
Yeah.
I'm 100% in agreement with you there. So Miami at 11, they traded for this pick. Nope, they traded
Wait.
for the pick in the second, later in the first round. Sorry, I lied to you. My bad. Didn't mean to do that, but I definitely lied. But I mean, this is kind of awesome for them. right? I mean, you have your pick of any receiver you want, really. And in my opinion, it's 1A and 1B between Carnell Tate and Jordan Tyson. I think Mekhi Lemon's kind of my second guy, but I'm gonna give him Carnell Tate here. I mean, he's probably he's probably my 1A to be quite honest in this draft as a receiver. And they traded Jalen Waddle, so they really need a receiver in this draft.
Yeah.
Now we have
And they
James
don't have Tyreek Hill either, so yeah.
Drew. So you kind of I could really got to address that issue.
The Cowboys here. I think if you don't go defense,
Yeah,
yeah, you just have to go defense. So not a lot of highly ranked defensive guys right now, but
mm.
oh boy, yeah, there's only like the Tennessee corner. It's Keldrick.
Keldrick Fox pretty good,
They
and
have a good line though, so I
yeah,
wouldn't go line. For sure go
there's
defensive back. I'd probably go McCoy here
yeah,
for the Cowboys, yeah, because their corners, like in recent years, yeah, they've just been not good, really.
yeah,
Trayvon Diggs, good at picks, not good at actually covering,
yeah,
whatever.
for sure. So I agree with that pick. I mean, you got to address defense. You had a great offense last year, and now you got to fix some of that defense. But you never know what Jerry Jones is gonna do. Never know.
That is true.
So we have the Rams here at 13. This is the Falcons pick, if I remember correctly. Now
Yeah.
the Rams, they really don't need a lot. Quite honestly, they kind of got corners, which was kind of their one big thing that you really kind of wanted. Um, Now you kind of have your pick a lot here. Like Jeremiah Love here is probably the best player available, probably by a lot, I'd say, just like from a pure like how much higher he is above than the rest, like comparatively of running backs, than Mekhi Lemon is, or Jordan Tyson is Mekhi Lemon, in my opinion. But Kyron Williams and Blake Corum are both pretty good. I mean, they're both NFL caliber running backs. And then you still have Devontae, and you still have Puka at wide receiver. So like, how much longer do you have Devontae? I don't know, but like this is like you have this is the Rams have they're at such a good spot right here. They can
Yeah.
pick kind of anybody that they want. Um, it's almost hard, really, to kind of like look at all these players and be like, who should the Rams take? Jeremiah Love is the best player available here. I don't think they take him though. Um, in my opinion, it's between like yeah, like the team fits here. I don't actually agree with this, but like
Yeah.
Kenny and Sadiq is kind of up there because he's very versatile, and you give McVay a great tight end, like it's pretty good.
With Higgins
And
too, yeah.
yeah, I just don't see him drafting a receiver, but it's between like Kenny and Sadiq or an offensive lineman, I think. Just
Yeah.
try to build up that line. But we're gonna go a little like wild here. We're gonna give Kenny and Sadiq here. Just give McVay another weapon, give Stafford another weapon. Just their defense. They address those issues on defense. So I think you might as well take a shot at kind of a insanely athletic tight end.
Yeah. I'd, they might trade that pick in real life, but
Yeah,
we're not doing mocks here because that's too
it's
technical.
really very technical.
Yeah. But the Ravens here, let's see. Their defense worse than normal. Still, I feel like they can be good. They just weren't last year. And there's not a lot of like defensive players still on the board. Falk's down there, but let's see, receiver. I mean, they don't have like great receivers. They just have like
Say Flowers is there.
pretty okay ones. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, they definitely don't need Love. Although if Love is falling this far, I feel like every team's at least got to consider drafting him, right?
Yeah,
But their line, they have a they have an okay line, right? Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
So
I don't actually hate the Penn State interior offensive lineman here. I
yeah,
kind of like that spot for him actually.
I was just thinking that, yeah. Let's go with him, yeah.
From a heavy run the ball, program with Penn State. So I need that.
They lost Linderbaum too, so
Yeah, so
kind
I
of
think it
replaces
honestly,
him.
yeah,
Not a center, but
I think it kind of fits.
yeah,
So Tampa here at 15. Now, the most Tampa thing for them to do would be to pick Jeremiah Love, just because they just picked the most insane running backs after they just signed Kenneth Gainwell. Yeah, it would just make sense for them to do it. But we're not going to do that because that's not the biggest need. They just lost Mike Evans. Um,
that is true.
I'm like wide receiver is a big need here. Maybe you get, someone to replace like Levante David, if, like he's getting older, but CJ Allen's a bit of a reach here, I think. Like just in my
Yeah,
opinion. You go to edge. Keldrick Falk wouldn't be that bad. I really don't hate Keldrick Falk here. Like Cassius Howell, they say like is a good fit here. I don't hate Keldrick Falk. And then it's probably between Keldrick Falk and either Micaiah Lemon or Jordan Tyson. Um, in my opinion, Jordan Tyson is better than I think he's what like the second best wide receiver just behind Carnell Tate in this draft class. But then edge rusher is a premium position in the NFL. Like
that is
edge
true.
rushers and offensive tackles are like the positional value is like super high for those. Like they're only probably valued less than quarterbacks. They're always super overdrafted. So I think that like the wide receiver room, let's see who does it consist of. Godwin's maybe, Tez Johnson's there, and they do have Ibuka. So they have Ibuka's going to be definitely like their probably number the best slot, and Johnson's I guess he's also a slot. So it wouldn't hurt to get a good guy outside for Baker. So I think for that reason they're going to go Jordan Tyson here. We're going to give him Jordan Tyson, get a true X out there like they just lost in Mike Evans, and just really like kind of lean into that offense.
Yeah. So Jets' second pick of the draft, they got who did they draft? Bailey? Did they pick?
So let's
I'm
see.
pretty sure.
We had them pick Arvell Reese.
Okay, yeah. So linebacker, Love, I would say no because they just Brees Hall's still there.
Hmm.
Receiver, maybe.
Hmm.
Although Garrett Wilson's there. Um, I wouldn't even be mad if they went defense again here, honestly.
Like a
Cause
corner.
cor- yeah, I'd probably go defensive back.
Like yeah, if they can clean him in here, like
Yeah,
get a
because
good
there's not a
look.
great corner here. Wow.
Yeah, next would be Terrell. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Maybe they reach, but there's also Thieneman up here
Hmm.
who who is in the corner, but you know,
He is really fast for a safety,
still.
so
Yeah,
I'll give him that.
he's
Very
insane.
fast.
I think I always like the Vikings picking Thieneman here, but I actually will have the Jets take him, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get a playmaker in that secondary after having no picks for an entire year.
Yeah,
So
they got to address that for sure.
yeah, and like Garrett Wilson is he's very good when he's healthy. The Jets safeties are not quite as good. So yeah, definitely better to improve that position straight up. We got the Lions here. They did just lose Dave Montgomery, but you still have Jahmyr Gibbs, who's a top five running back in the NFL. So I don't see them drafting Jeremiah Love. I mean, they just don't see it. But Kyle Lemon's interesting here, but they do have Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams, so you have a really good wide receiver core there. Keldrick Falk is really interesting here, and Mesidor. Like these two, I know it says the position is Cowboys here, but I think Akeem Mesidor screams Lion to me. Just he's kind of older. He's kind of got that like really super aggressive. They could use a corner. Um, I mean, Terry Arnold's he's good. They lost their Amik Robinson. Their safeties are still fine, but it's really between like Keldrick Falk and Akeem Mesdor, and then like an offensive tackle, right? Like Caden Proctor is going to play opposite. You're gonna have to play him opposite Penei Sewell. Interior line, there's just not anybody really in the spot here. So for that reason, I think they take Keldrick Falk here. I just think he's the best edge available. They could also go Mesidor, who's maybe more of a lion, but I think Keldrick Falk has a higher upside.
Yeah. Falk with Hutchinson too. That would
Yeah.
be a
Hmm.
dangerous defensive line there.
Yeah.
Vikings here. Yeah, okay. So Thieneman, the guy I like picking for the Vikings, he's gone.
Mm. Harrison
I
Smith
kind of like
replacement.
Jeremiah
Nope.
Love. What?
The Harrison Smith replacement doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, no, no. But Jeremiah Love, I
Yeah.
mean, they're running backs, Jordan Mason, and Aaron
Aaron
Jones.
Jones is going to retire like next
He's
year, right?
getting
So,
old. Yeah. So, and Jeremiah Love's fallen this far. Yeah, sure. Let's pick Jeremiah Love here.
yeah. I mean, just kind of like best player available, right? Like,
Yeah.
can't really go wrong with that. So now we got Carolina. They actually did a good amount of free agency. I was actually kind of surprised they did what they did with that. But so you obviously have Bryce Young. Running back here, like they're probably really upset that Jeremiah Love just went because they honestly
Yeah.
might have taken him right there. But you're not drafting Mike Washington, Jadarian Price. You're just not drafting him here. That you're just reaching
No.
too far. You are probably looking defensive line, quite honestly, and maybe I just maybe a receiver. I don't quite think so. I mean, the receiver core was okay, and they just got, the best wide receiver in last year's class. So I just don't see that they really go there. Like Mekhi Lemon, I just don't see him going. I do like Peter Woods here actually a lot. And then maybe on Terrell here, gonna get a corner opposite JC Horn. But I like Peter Wood, I feel like D line really has to be the play. Caleb Banks is also good, but he's a better run stopper. I think Peter Woods is the better all around D line D tackle. So we're gonna give him Peter Woods here at 19. And I think that kind of satisfies their biggest need on this team right now.
So the Cowboys' second pick.
They picked Jerron McCoy, the corner from Tennessee last
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So, I might still go defense here.
Like
Um,
linebacker, maybe.
yeah, I don't, why isn't this working?
There we go. Okay.
There we go. Okay.
What we're trying to get.
There's not great linebackers available.
Yeah,
I
like
think,
CJ Allen's down here.
yeah, they might reach though, because it's their second pick in the draft or in the first round.
Hmm.
Um, and they don't like desperately need that much else. So yeah, let's go CJ Allen there. Can't hurt. Georgia defensive players, like, right? They're super
Yeah.
good.
The
So
linebackers especially. I mean, CJ Allen's not like the best like pass defense guy, but he's a really good run stopper. And you can kind of teach guys to be able to be more like to kind of understand NFL concepts and be able to kind of drop. But you need to be an athletic linebacker to play in this league, and CJ Allen is definitely that. So I
yeah.
think that's a smart pick there for the Cowboys.
But
And
who knows
they've
with
been
Jerry Jones?
again, yeah, he could pick a guy you've never heard of, and you'd be
Yeah,
like, why? And he'd be like, I'm only doing it because I want people to look at me, and that makes sense. If you're Pittsburgh here, you've kind of like you had an interesting offseason, right? You got Michael Pittman, traded for him, so that you
yeah,
have him and DK Metcalf as your receivers. Lost Kenneth Gainwell, but you still have Warren. Obviously, you don't know who your quarterback is. A lot of talk is Ty Simpson here, right? Um,
yeah. Mm,
I don't think they do that. I think they like Rudolph, or they're going to stick with Rodgers or even Philip Rivers. Honestly, I have no idea what they're doing here, but this is not the
yeah,
draft. This is not the draft to draft a quarterback. That is next year. So I don't think they do that. Like they've invested a lot into that defense. And Mekhi Lemon's still here though. Like that's on like this is probably really tempting for them because we had him before free agency. We had them picking Mekhi Lemon, or we had him picking a receiver, I think. And Mekhi Lemon is here, so that is super interesting. Like
that is true.
it is. So I think just best player available. They end up taking Mekhi Lemon just because I mean you get a guy for the future. You know how much you have left in DK Metcalf. You need another guy who can. They're all going to be deep receivers anyway. You might as well get a really good one.
Yeah, definitely can't go wrong there. Chargers, obviously lineman comes to mind. Sorry.
Mhm.
And luckily enough, Caden Proctor's right there. So I wouldn't even think about this too long. They draft Caden Proctor because they desperately need O-line, and he's right there. Not much
Yeah,
else to say.
you put him opposite Joe Alt, right? And then,
Yeah,
I mean, I think their interior line was like it really needed help too, but like at this spot in the draft, then it just doesn't make sense to draft interior. Um,
You could
You need
also
to draft a
probably like
tackle.
move them around if you
Yeah, it's
needed to.
true. If you need like, I think Packers did it last year. They drafted a tackle and they moved him to guard, and he was still really good. So I think that that's definitely possible. So Philly is really interesting here. So they lost Reed Blankenship
Yeah.
recently. So I mean, he's a key part of the exciting whites there. Like Emmanuel McNeil Warren is interesting because he played alongside Queen Mitchell at Toledo, I think. He's definitely need to watch out for. Edge also, they've been kind of, they didn't sign they didn't re-sign Jalen Phillips. Offensive tackle, I mean, Lane Johnson, right? You don't know how much we have left of him. So Caleb Lomu, it's for me, it's between Caleb Lomu and Akeem Mesidor here. I don't think that you get a safety here is as important to the team as kind of like is either generating pressure or protecting, a quarterback. And I think that Howie Roseman is the best GM in the NFL right now. I mean, you don't really want to make a trade with him because you're going to lose it. It's like 5 years ago, I'm making a trade with the Rays, right? And they'll be, you're like, well,
Yeah.
they won this, whatever it was. But I think that they're going to try to protect Jalen Hurts, so I think they're going to pick Caleb Loma. They should pick Caleb Loma just to protect, your franchise quarterback guy who you really believe in. And their offense was really like what was struggling last year. So I feel like you gotta try to prompt that to kind of start going forward and whatnot. You have insanely good defense, so definitely gotta focus on that on what stopped you, right?
The only thing that would be stopping the Eagles from that pick is that he didn't go to Georgia, but
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Brown's second pick here, they drafted a lineman first. So defense, I mean, why doesn't this thing ever work?
Yeah. What the?
Defend your pick. Okay.
We will not be doing that. That is just a. What are we thinking here? I can do the scrolling while it's being
Yeah.
a little weird.
So corner maybe to pair with Denzel Ward and maybe even Mizador to pair with Garrett. Cause
Hmm.
but Omar Cooper, he's kind of like popping out at me because yeah,
Okay.
the receivers at this point probably the weakest part of their team.
Like Jerry Judy's your one. Honestly, your best like receiving target right now is Harold Fanta. So
Yeah. So
he is good.
maybe
So,
maybe they should have picked a receiver first.
but I
And
mean, there's still two good ones right here, right? So,
yeah, that's true. So let's go Omar Cooper here for the
yeah,
Browns. Yeah. Just yeah. I mean, it'll help out Shadur because I guess he's gonna be their quarterback.
yeah, because they've really leaned into him doing that.
Yeah, so
Um, okay, so then we got the Bears here, and for me, the Bears have to pick a D lineman. You just really have to.
yeah. Unless they
Um,
trade Max Crosby.
yeah, I mean now it's possible again, right? So it's between these two, obviously. Caleb Banks has the most upside of these two, but he's just super inconsistent. Like he just kind of is inconsistent. Like a lot of like his best plays, they feel like, wow, this guy can really really play, and then the other plays, he's just like fallen over, tripped on something. You're like, what are you doing? Kid McDonald, I think he's a really good run stopper as well, but he did play in that insanely good Ohio State defense, so that definitely helped him benefit there. Whereas Caleb Banks was playing on a below average Florida defense. And I think you pick the guy who has the highest upside, especially in the first round. In the first round, you don't pick a guy for the solid floor. I don't think you do. I think they take Caleb Banks here because he's going to help out that defense the most out of anyone.
See, the Bills here. They they signed some guy on defense. I think it was an edge rusher, right?
They lost Taron Johnson. I know they lost their kind of like nickel and safety. They lost him, but
So yeah, so the Toledo guy, he might be good
yeah,
here. I would go defense, just
yeah.
or maybe Denzel Boston because their receivers are terrible.
Yeah.
So honestly,
Interesting
a lot
spot
of
for the
these
Bills here.
players are a good pick here.
Hmm.
I might have to
And
think about. Mizador, because he's kind of falling a little bit here, and he's pretty
Mm.
good,
The one thing with him is he's like going to be 25, 26 his rookie year.
I guess. But he's kind of been playing at almost an NFL level at college. I mean, it's
Yeah.
hard to tell, obviously, but
Playing across Ruben Bain. I mean,
yeah,
that's
on
definitely
that really
rough.
good Miami defense, yeah. But I think to finalize it, let's just go with this Toledo guy, safety, losing some, and he's pretty good. Um,
Yeah.
helps out that defense, which was the majority of their problem last year. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have Josh Allen. So, and I think
Yeah.
second round, maybe they take a receiver, which we might do, a multi-round like mock draft later in the future. So just let us know if you guys want to see that. We would definitely get that out for you.
Yeah.
We have San Francisco here. So a very interesting offseason, right? They got Mike Evans. You don't know what Brandon Ayuk's doing right now. You never know what he's going to do. Um,
Yeah.
so he's like, do you pick a receiver here? Do you pick an edge? Do you pick like what do you invest in? And I actually do like the suggestion here with Blake Miller here. Um, offensive tackle is not bad. Um, but like Akeem Mesidor here, I just feel like it's him or Avian Terrell, really. Like getting keep investing in that defense. Like I think they trust Purdy and Mesidor's fallen so far. Like they really have. And I think they have enough on offense. Like I like the idea of picking offensive line here. But I just feel like Akeem Mesidor is just too good to pass up on at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Let's see, Texans, best defense in the NFL probably last year.
Yep.
But their offense was not good.
No.
Kind of sold the team. It did sell
Mm.
the team, not kind of.
Yeah.
Um, but they don't really need a receiver. The receivers on their offense was not the problem.
They were
So
they
Denzel
were kind of
Boston,
hurt last year, so that didn't help.
yeah. I mean, Tank Dell's still super good.
Nico Collins,
Um,
top 10,
yeah, Nico
15
Collins.
receiver. Like he's really good.
Yeah. So I'm looking at Blake Miller here.
Yeah.
They definitely need a lineman. Yeah, Blake Miller
Yeah.
just protects
Help
CJ
help
Stroud.
CJ
CJ
Stroud. Yeah.
Stroud, he can improve. His career's not over because he threw four picks in one game. It happens.
Yeah. It's you see pretty sure Brett Favre threw like six in one game, by the way. So he'll
Yeah.
live. So now we have the Chiefs, and the Chiefs picked Mansour Delane. They picked the corner last time. So I feel like now it has to be receiver. Just to really, I mean, Rasheed Rice is good. You don't really know what you have with Xavier Worthy. He's kind of a deep threat, like only. I wouldn't be surprised if they picked, another like kind of like D tackle here because they could definitely use it. But I think they want to really. You have Mahomes, right? You might as well like continue to
Yeah.
invest in Mahomes. So I think Denzel Boston, getting a really big bodied receiver, and especially like red zone threat will really help kind of have like a bigger body because Travis Kelce probably hasn't four more year. So kind of being a big guy, kind of bigger bodied red zone who you can really mesh well with Patrick Mahomes is going to be really beneficial.
Yeah. So Dolphins, they picked who? Receiver, I think.
Let's see. So the Dolphins selected Carnell
Yes.
Tate at 11. So that was he fell pretty far for him.
Yeah. Um, let's see. They do kind of need defense. Definitely not Concepcion, obviously.
I don't see
Not
drafting
Ty
two.
Simpson.
No.
Because they signed Willis, yeah. So definitely going defense on here. Um, corner or edge? Probably one of the Clemson guys I'm thinking here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Um, it's kind of whatever they prefer, really. I would say edge just because that's more important. So they're
Hmm.
going with TJ Parker here, maybe. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. You gotta really gotta invest in that defense. So now we
Yeah.
have New England here. They're in a weird. They do need edge. But also like getting a receiver here wouldn't be the worst because who knows what's going on with Stephon Diggs, right? Who knows? Offensive line also wouldn't be the worst, but I do think it is between edge and Concepcion here. Concepcion is just really fast. I don't know if they. They don't really have a burner. Demario Douglas, I guess, is pretty fast. Demario Davis, but I think you got a big edge. Maybe you reach on one because your team was really complete. You made the Super Bowl last year, so you kind of just need like that one extra kind of guy who's going to contribute.
Yeah. Lastly, here we have the Super Bowl champions,
Hmm.
Seahawks. First thing that comes to my mind is running back because they lost Kenneth Walker, obviously,
Hmm.
but there's not really any good running backs. So,
No.
yeah, no, I don't think they would go there. Maybe Terrell here because he has kind of fallen now, like 9 spots.
Yeah. And
Um,
also they lost their top. They
Reed-
lost their one of their better safeties, and they lost
yeah,
their corner too. So I mean that I like that idea as well.
yeah. So yeah, probably Terrell here, and
Or
well,
yeah.
is
So I mean, just like a super interesting kind of way we went about it, just trying to address all the kind of issues in each um for each team. So
yeah.
thank you guys for joining us. We obviously appreciate it, and so we'll definitely try to get more stuff out there for you guys. So we will talk to you guys later.